Hello and welcome to Tenney Talks. Today we have a very special person here with us today to tell us about the life and times of her tribe. And also, we're going to have a very special, and we're going to also have another guest later on which will tell us her viewpoints
I thought I
on
was
everything also.
I thought I was here to be an opinion on the World by Us collection. Talk about.
And
What?
we're going to talk about a new release from American Girl, Wink Wink. And it's all coming up right now on Teddy Talks. But first, our interview.
Hi.
Hi, Kaya. So tell me, how do you feel about this time period right now?
Are you talking about like present day?
Yes, how do you feel about present day, the climate and political atmosphere?
Um, Climate change bad. I'm not sure how to
I mean,
respond.
don't you have anything constructive?
Treat the environment better. Have more brown people in positions of power. I don't know what else needs to be said. Personally, I would also like it if there is like uh um just positive change.
So what was so which brings me to my next question. What was life like on the prairie?
It was fun, scary, turbulent. Ah! Um.
Gabriella!
Ah! She's camera shy, so forgive her. But for the most part, there's a lot of risk. But my group of people would move around a lot for food availability because it wasn't always in the area we were at. We had to sort of go to different places. We could travel pretty far away from where we started at. So there's mainly traveling. We could pack up like our different things, like all our bedding could fit into a very small roll, so we could carry it on our backs if we need to, or just carry it in general, depending. We also we had our own, basically what you might call a Pueblo dog now, that would push those stuff around for us. So they would help us.
Also, did you have a few horses with the move?
Yes, we had, well, depending, we generally had a small amount, but we had enough to get everything done and everyone who needed them to ride over large areas of land like elders through. And a lot of us had our own personal ones that we'd use to pull around as a family. So our family units items. Personally, my family ended up with 2.
Cool. That is very interesting. So, what's your family's dog name, if you don't mind me asking? Isn't it like, if I say it, I probably will sound racist, so I'm.
Telto? I'm not good with English. So, I sort of we have our own dog. There's a lot of dogs that just hang around. Personally, our sort just started as one that was kind of wild and accepted me when no one else would. And then we'd use eventually. I got trained and it would pull around stuff for my family.
How awesome. So, that is so cool. So, what do you think personally of Europeans?
The weird white people.
Now, I'm asking, what, in your experience, would you say European colonization effects were?
They kind of pushed us further out from where we normally would be, and often would take our stuff and try to steal our land primarily. But we've dealt with that problem for a long time. The only difference is the people who would steal from us initially didn't have any firearms with them. We were pretty new to it, but when I was growing up, I was aware of them. We didn't have a lot of meaningful contact, my tribe. until later.
Oh, I see.
And
So, have you ever experienced racism or prejudice?
yeah,
Sorry, my throat's dry today.
I have. For the most part, it was just when we would encounter colonists that would be pretty bad, but there's also issues within my own group. Like, they didn't always think that girls or women could do some stuff, but I'm not exactly sure if they're trying to protect us or not, or just trying to be mean sometimes. Uh, it was a rough time. Wildfires are still a big risk, but the only difference is now we have better ways of putting them out. I don't really know. I guess it was very interesting to grow up when I did. I love my family, which is a really large family. And even though I did end up accidentally hurting a few, I've learned my lesson.
So, oh wow. Well, thank you for bringing in your insight for that. So, can you tell us what your favorite hobbies are?
My primary hobbies include wandering around, experiencing nature. I love riding my horse. I love my dog because my dog's the only one who never judges me as harshly. Oh, we do a lot of stuff out there. I like weave fabrics and work on different textiles and stuff. Sometimes I'll go out of my way to beat a fancy dress or start working on it at least. They take a long time though. But those can be fun.
Incredibly beautiful. Give it up for the incredibly talented and semi-boring interview of Kaya.
I don't know. I don't know, read my books and you'll know more. I'll try not to.
I was gonna ask if anything dramatic happened in your life, but it doesn't seem like you had much dramatic happen besides moving around all the time.
I don't like to talk about it.
And looks like I just opened my big fat mouth.
I don't talk about my dramatic stuff. People have been bullying me about it for months already, so I just don't mention it to people who don't know.
Okay, that's your choice. All I can say anything to say to the haters or anyone at home?
It's not my responsibility to take care of my siblings.
Oh, okay. I have a younger sister, but I don't really hang at you that much. Besides the fact that she stole all my guitar picks one time and put glitter on them.
Yeah. I wish I could have met that rhino iguana, Tenney.
Don't bring that up. I don't want to relive the trauma.
We all have things we don't want to talk about. See? So just... I'll mind my business, you'll mind yours.
Okay, that sounds great. Anyways, thank you for coming on, Kaya. Sadly, we're running out of time for this interview. I would love to learn more about you later. Perhaps you can show up again. It would be great to have a good laugh with you.
Yeah. It would be. After this, I'm going to go hang out with Kirsten.
Okay, that is excellent. Have some fun, and we'll be right back with our other guests.
Okay. Bye.
And we are back. Anyways, we have our new guest, Kirsten.
Hi.
Hi, Kirsten. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and your heritage.
Tell me about Kirsten. For God's sakes, she's Dutch. So, I'm Dutch. I'm an immigrant to the U.S. We've been trying to fit in, but it's really hard. Primarily, though, a lot of people treat us differently somehow, although, like, I don't see the difference between a Dutch person and a British person. Looks-wise, I could be either. Just, I thought that was odd. Her eyes look so weird. It's sort of rough to move to a new place, and it's really hard to feel understood by people. Also, we're in the working class, so people like to treat us as lesser, but eventually we'll be free from the working class, right?
So, what prejudice in your time period that you still think of today?
I'd say that there's quite a bit of prejudice against people who are different in some way towards what's current to what they consider the in group. Like, I, in my time, was very different. So I'd say there's still people who are being mistreated for being different.
So, Kirsten, I've heard a little bit about how Dutch people were often discriminated against because they weren't seen as directly European, which was kind of odd.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't see us as European enough. It's like, what kind of arbitrary number do you need for me to be European enough?
So, what was it like living on your uncle's farm in Minnesota?
It was fine. It was Minnesota, so but other than it's not like I'm scared of cold, but it definitely wasn't you would have thought if you would have come to a warmer place, you wouldn't move to one of the coldest states in that warmer place, you know?
And I heard a transition was tough in America.
It was extremely difficult. I felt like nobody liked me except for other people who weren't liked by others. It's like people were like, "Oh, they'd say rude things about me and my heritage. They thought that I was lesser or not as educated as them because I didn't say understand the language as well as they did or stuff like that."
Wow, that is tremendously.
It was extremely difficult to cope because I still miss my homeland. I wish that we didn't have to leave, but I guess here we are.
I heard you have lots of siblings.
Oh yeah, we have a huge family. I wear like hand-me-downs, and eventually it's gonna be really difficult because my family is very much dependent on us to help them work right now to make a living. So it's just really hard to keep up with everything.
I would imagine. Well, that is very unfortunate to hear, Kirsten. Hopefully your situation gets better.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it does. I really would like to have more of a childhood.
So, moving on, I've heard you made a friend when you moved.
Yeah, I did. My friend is a young Native American named Songbird. She's basically one of my only friends because he understands what it's like to be singled out and be treated differently, especially by Europeans, which is ironic because I'm also European, but they don't see me, but they still discriminate against me too. Doesn't make very much. Me and her like to hang out when we have time. I do have a pretty busy schedule, so it can be hard sometimes, but I'd say we have a pretty good friendship. The language divide has been hard between us, but it's surprisingly comforting to know that I'm not the only one struggling in that regard.
Wow, that is really awesome. Do you know we had a guest earlier on that was of Native American heritage?
Yeah, I've talked to her a few times. Me and her like to hang out sometimes. We're sort of becoming friends.
That is great. Thank you guys so much. And now we're going to move on to our new segment right after this break. Alright, and we're back. Okay, so today's segment is not with moi, because moi has to be cut off from her camera time apparently. I take too much time staring at myself in the camera. But who can blame me? I'm gorgeous. Beautiful. People have compared my beauty to that of the beautiful Caroline Abbott or of the beautiful contemporaries.
You said you're running out of time.
Shut up, Josefina. I'm having a rough day.
I guess we're gonna be calling it a wrap then. I'm sorry about her hissy fit. Say something in Spanish.
Muchas gracias. Adiós, hasta luego.